are now tuned into the game,
where evolution is revolution.
Welcome to another edition of the Game Recognized Game podcast with RLJ and Kev. I'm KEV, that's RLJ, and we are the gentlemen advancing the melanin evolution, where evolution is revolution, and revolution is evolution.
What's
up, man?
What's up, my brother?
What's the dilly, yo?
You know it, man. Slow motion is still motion.
Yo, fall is in full effect, man.
Bro, listen. Summer was like, all right, y'all good? Cool. Was out like a light.
I like it though, man. I mean, it's, you know, the leaves changing and everything. It's the natural course of things. You know what I'm saying?
This is my favorite time of year. It was just that moment we had a 96-degree day, and then it was 50 the next day. I was like, okay.
We get and especially in the DC area, we get like that random shit at least once a season, like, and it's like a 50-degree shift.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, we got one more in us.
yeah.
Let me get the rest of this energy out before I go to sleep for But you know, this is my favorite time of year. I love the fall. I love hoodie season. So I'm excited.
Football season. Yo, man, your squad ain't doing too good these days, man.
Who's my squad?
You a Cowboy fan, ain't you?
I'm not.
You ain't a Cowboy fan?
You know, I have stopped supporting the NFL.
Oh, okay, that's right. Well, you're not an NFL fan,
since
but
Kaepernick.
At what point? At one point, when you was practicing in the religion in the NFL, and you changed churches,
I saw the light.
Your ass was a Cowboy fan.
That's irrelevant now. So I don't know what's happening with any NFL team.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't get like readopted. I didn't readopt the NFL like that rah, but I have like, I ain't playing fantasy because I just don't feel like paying attention that much. But you know, I'm kind of at least paying attention to like what's going on. I ain't sitting back watching no whole game or nothing like that. I don't really care that much.
I've been
these days, especially the Giants suck. So I just been.
They sucked when I was watching. So I mean,
that's fair. But now, man, I was gonna throw a jab at you because the 49ers say they them boys.
They probably are. I saw the score. Someone posted it. I was like, that's unfortunate.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Dak, man, because like it's tough being a black man in America in general, right? But to be like a black man and you just like starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody is either praying that you don't fuck up or praying that you do. And either way,
somebody's prayers is getting answered.
And somebody's prayer gonna get answered at your bequest. Like, yo, bruh, that's nigga, that's trauma. We be talking about trauma, man. To be that Prescott right now, Dakota Prescott is traumatic. I just don't know, man. It's like their season was hopeful, and their season probably won't be their season based on his play. That's a lot of pressure, man. I don't think I would want to. I don't know, man. Like, it's hard enough being Kevin, yo. Like LeBron James, Dak Prescott, a lot of the sports people or entertainers that's always in the media. Like, everybody got an opinion, or everybody kind of all the different podcasts and social media platforms. They're using like your downfall. They're using your downfall to like spread awareness about their platform, yo. That joint that's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I mean, like, imagine like if you got a Sunday night game, right, and it's a big game, as this game that I'm talking shit to you about was, and a lot of people got a lot of money riding on it, like their hopes and dreams is riding on it, and you don't perform up to par. It's just a game, man. But they probably calling Dak every name.
Oh, they're probably making life threats.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta be as a black man, but then you gotta be as a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. And in the back of your mind, as a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you kind of know you can be trash at some point in the season anyway. But y'all ain't gotta break me down.
Yeah.
Y'all knew we was gonna be trash at the beginning of the season. Don't put that all on me.
The same thing happened to I've been following Colorado football, and Prime is rebuilding the Buffaloes. They're the Buffaloes, right?
Yeah. See you Buffs. Yep.
See you Buffs.
Yep.
So
they won one game last year, Ronald. By the way, they won one game.
Yeah.
Last year they was 1-12 or 11.
And so change doesn't happen overnight in terms of results that you're
Not when you won 11
for.
the previous season. Hell no.
So Prime is rebuilding the team, but he's not just rebuilding the football team. He's rebuilding the program to make better men. And so we talked about it. The amount of money that is now being tossed at the university. The average cost of a football ticket was what, $20 last year?
Right.
And now they're in the triple digits.
I'm not being blasphemous right now. Dion is legit turning water into wine in Colorado, bruh.
And
I'm just saying.
Multiple streams.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just that, we got a new football coach. You got people referring to him as the Messiah of Colorado, like bringing life to dead situations in Colorado.
He doing God's work, man. But but why you gonna hate on him for doing, like, that's who he is? Like, Dion has always been this guy.
He is.
He's always been this man. He's always been excellent. He's always been dedicated, disciplined. He's always been confident. There's been a level of bravado with him since I was watching him when I was my son's age. It is who he is, and it works. Why can't Prime just be Prime, and people be happy with the results of him being Prime?
But I think that leads up to a bigger issue in terms of you have individuals who the only thing they're good at is being a critic. It's their full-time job.
To talk trash.
That's it.
And not be held accountable for nothing.
That's it. And I mean, everybody knows them. You know, individuals who can watch a football game or a basketball game from their couch and feel as if they can coach better than the individuals who have played, trained, and are now coaching.
Yeah.
Or individuals who will go to a local game, a high school game, in the stands, talking about the plays that they should have done, or this is what you should have did. Like, and the individuals talking have never left their zip code. The only thing that they are good at is being a critic in life. Oh, this is what they should have did. People have a problem allowing other people to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes after be, it's like I have to disrupt or disturb anything that's happening over there because it doesn't fit with what I think it should be happening. Right? So with Prime, I need Prime to do what I think he needs to do because what I think he needs to do is bigger than what he's doing. He needed to stay here, and this is what he needed to do. No. You can't control any of that.
This is the conundrum, though, Brother Jay. Peep this. So, when he first took the Colorado job, it was black people that was on his head like he sold out.
Yeah.
Right? However, it was the HBCU that was the only college that really wanted to give him a shot. And he still brought the same not to this magnitude, because when you got white people money, man, when you
Hello?
got Power Five money, bro,
Hello?
I'm gonna just say white people money because PWIs, predominantly white institutions, and that's the flagship. When you got white people money, yo, whatever Jackson State had was that won't even a drop in the bucket.
Hello?
So let's just say that, right? But even still, Dion, I think, might have made his contract might have made $500,000 a year at Jackson State, and he gave up half of that.
I don't think it was that much.
I know I don't think it was $1 million, but I think his coaching salary was like 500
total compensation with endorsements and everything. Okay,
500. I mean, and that's low ball in comparison to what Cats is getting, right?
Yeah.
But even still, half of that he kind of like gave it away. Then he was still getting endorsements, like the same level of attention that he bring in to all the games in Colorado. The only difference between that and at Jackson State is that it's on a global scale. It's on mainstream media. It's on TV, because guess what? The media don't talk about HBCUs, unfortunately. Right? So on one end, Dion couldn't be saying, why does he want to coach football? Why is he coaching at a HBCU? He was a player. He can't be a coach. I'm gonna go coach at a HBCU. I'm gonna win, and we're gonna bring the spirit back. It's gonna be tight. And you can't do that because HBCUs never thrive. And what makes you think you could do blah 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 blah? No, I'm gonna do it because I'm a winner. I win at life. Right? I win at life. So you go to Jackson State, you do what you said you was gonna do. People's like, oh, he really is the shit. He turning water into wine down here too. Oh, but now he's leaving to go to a white school for a larger opportunity, not a better opportunity.
He was making $300,000.
Okay. I lowballed that. So 300,000. So you go from making 300,000, but they're paying you, but all of your total compensation, what you giving back to the school, is way more than that 300,000.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So how can he be a sellout going to Colorado? And you see the stuff that he's doing in Colorado, like he always needed a platform of this magnitude, man. He's Deion Sanders.
Well, not to mention,
like, it shouldn't surprise nobody.
And I said we have to be very careful when we are having this conversation, because we are magnifying him leaving and we are negating what he left.
Yeah.
He left an empowered coaching staff.
Yep.
He left a transformed athletic program.
He left improved facilities.
Right? He left
improved reputation and recognition for Jackson State
endorsements.
As well, their football games on ESPN now.
He left all of that. So had it not been for him stopping by the Jackson State University, none of that would have happened.
Facts.
Right? And like, I hate to use this comparison, but like, individuals were mad because Jesus left.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, what would have happened had he not have left?
And then you get stuck on, well, they not letting Jesus be because Jesus is Jesus, so let him be.
Yeah, like
he's the supreme being. Right?
It's so many things. Like everybody wants it both ways, and you can't, right? Like we need
but
to.
But that's the fucked up thing, though, bro. About Deion specifically. So you get it from black people on that side, right? Mm-hmm. He a sellout. But then the fact that he coaching the way he want to coach, and he's having the success that he wants to have, and that he said he would have, he getting it from like the white power establishment amongst the coaching ranks, because they can't do what he doing.
Can't. Right.
And so it's like, oh, well, yeah, you shouldn't wear your sunglasses or gold chains, or you shouldn't identify with your players, or blah, 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 blah. It's kind of like, yo, he's turning water into wine. That's hating. But at the same time, Deion can't be in like the spaces that he should, like he's one of the greatest football players ever. He should be able to coach any fucking where on the face of the earth.
But going back to your point, no one wanted to give him a shot.
Yeah.
Right? And then thinking of, it was Oregon, right? Oregon was the first game that they lost.
No, oh yeah, did that? Oh boy,
that was painful.
Oh, you know it was happening. But once again,
But Oregon is a developed team,
they
a
Oregon,
well-oiled machine.
they put up 30 points a game in their sleep, and they've done so the last 5 years. So like,
This ain't new to them, right?
Yeah.
And so, if nothing, it continued to give the CU Buffs exposure, right? And it's like, how can you? Someone said, how can you still support that? And they lost like that. I said the issue is not whether they win or lose. It's like, what changes is he bringing to Colorado? Like 1-11, I think was the record last year, right?
yeah, they were trash in every sense of the word
for years. And so it's like now there's more town and city. Hell, state morale is up.
Yo, man.
Selling out seats at record number prices. Like, there's change happening slowly but surely. Things are being impacted just for him being there.
So just let him be.
Allowing them to be whatever.
Yeah.
Is what's happening now, right? When you allow individuals to be at their essence who they are, to do what they were designed and created by the creator to do, magic happens every single time. Every single time.
The crazy part about that, a prime example, no pun intended. We talking about Deion Sanders, a prime example. A prime example, man. I was watching this documentary about Little Richard on CNN a couple weeks ago, but I actually just got a chance to watch watch it in its entirety over the weekend. But one of the crazy parts about the documentary that I didn't know is how tormented he was trying to be himself and present in like very, very different spaces. So on one side, you got like, he grew up in Macon, Georgia, in the deep South in the 30s. So just being Black, period, during that time frame where he grew up, that's like one element of you trying to find your space as a Black man, right? Then in terms of his sexuality, he was a homosexual and was pretty much a trailblazer in like coming out as a gay man, but as a gay Black man during the time that he did it. But this is the kicker. So you're trying to be, from society standpoint, who are you supposed to be as a Black man? Who are you supposed to be in terms of your sexuality? Who are you supposed to be in terms of your ability to entertain others? Are they entertained because of your flamboyance, or are they entertained because of like your talent? Like Little Richard is like the king of rock and roll for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like everything that happened in rock and roll in terms of the timeline, it started with Little Richard, yo. Like a gay black man legit is the father of rock and roll. And probably the grandfather of hip hop. Because if James Brown is kind of like the messiah of hip hop, just based on the ones and on the one, starting the record on the one, that's all hip hop, right?
Yeah. James
Brown got his style from Little Richard. So you're trying to be, but one of the pieces in the documentary, he's like, he started to play into the flamboyance and the bravado and the wild clothes, the bouffant hair, the pancake makeup, because he said, yo, I was gorgeous. Like, I mean, he was talking like Muhammad Ali, man. And it's kind of crazy because like people like Muhammad Ali, Little Richard, Deion Sanders, like, yo, it's like some God body stuff, man. Cause they speak and manifest what they want to do, how great they are, how they can be, and people hate them for that shit, man. And so like he said in that era when he was coming up as an entertainer, because he was feminine and beautiful, he was less threatening. So he could go out and get the money in front of the white girls at the little sock hops and all those shows. And that's how he blew up, because rock and roll is a teenage sound, right? and you can't make no money performing in front of just a small audience of teenagers. But because he was Little Richard, and because he was gay, because he was flamboyant, because he could rock the jam on top of the jam, and couldn't nobody fuck with him, he got access, but he still couldn't be, even after going through Macon, Georgia, after going through trauma with his family around his sexuality, after going through trying to figure out how to gain acceptance for the music that I'm providing and bringing to the table. Like, he still never got his true credit for creating all of the stuff that he got. And that was part of the documentary as well. And I'm just thinking, like, damn, man, at what point can a brother just be? I know James Baldwin says, to be a black man in America is to be in a constant state of rage. Like, I get that part, but nigga, I don't want to be in rage, man. I want to just be, I ain't gay, but shit, man. If I could get paid like Little Richard and play music like Little Richard, nigga, let's get it popping. Let me be that. I'm brash, I'm talented, I'm beautiful, and I can coach football at any school, and I'm making y'all money hand over fist. Let me be. Because it's like when people try to put, like you said earlier, Brother Jay, like when people try to put their control over your state of being, one, they wasting time, but you're also kind of like stifling, like you just mentioned, when the magic can happen.
Absolutely. But and to take it a step further, Kev, we even see this within our relationships. How some individuals have this picture of what a relationship is supposed to be, or what they want their partner to be, or how they want their partner to show up, or how certain things are supposed to manifest within a relationship. And they try to orchestrate it. They try to control it. And I told a client once before, think back to the game where you had to take the shapes and put it in the corresponding holes. What happened when you tried to take the cylinder and put in the triangle hole? Doesn't work. Doesn't fit. Now you can force it, but you're eventually going to break the toy.
Or you're going to be frustrated in the process.
And
trying to force it.
And you're going to be frustrated, right?
Yeah,
and so trying to force things that, like, once again, are outside of our control and our being, allowing things to naturally emerge and take its shape or take its form or do what it was designed to do, will yield so much more of a beautiful flower than by what's in your head. And see, the issue is we are limited by our imagination. I was thinking of the illustration where there's a little kid and he's holding on to a teddy bear, and there's a figure that folks refer to as Jesus, even though we know what Jesus looks like. And he has a bigger bear behind his back, and he's holding his hand towards the little kid's bear, asking like, yo, let me get the bear.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid is holding on to it because in the kid's mind, this is the greatest thing ever. That's what happens when we try to control how others, quote unquote, be.
Mm-hmm.
We are putting a lid on their pot in terms of development or flourishing. Individuals trying to put Prime in a box. How and why? Typically, people do
somebody
this.
that's not designed to be in a box.
Yeah, good luck keeping him in there, right? But like most times, people are trying to put you in a container out of fear. If we don't put him in control now, we don't silence him, and we don't make him follow these rules now or create some rules to keep him in bounds, he's going to eventually outshine us. Right? And so I'm going to put you here, and I'm kind of going to, in a way, it's like I'm handicapped in this individual.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about, my science teacher told us, he said, if you take a baby shark and you put it in a fish tank, it'll grow no longer than 3 feet.
Size of his environment.
That part. He
Yeah.
said, but if you take that same baby shark and you put him in the ocean where there are no bounds, the shark will grow to an enormous size. And I thought about that. He said, even when you think about it as a plant, when a plant outgrows its pot, you either got to repot it or it dies.
Yeah.
Because it can only go to the bounds of the pot. And so you got to ask yourself, why is it that as black men, we just can't be?
I mean, I think part of it is the control factor, man. And you know, man, I'm gonna get on my CB4. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm black of the black. I'm black, y'all. I'm gonna get on my African Bombada Kunta Kinte thing right now, man. So I could easily say that it's like society and the man's kind of patriarchy throughout America that has kind of relegated the black man to be in this box.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't knocking it. I'm not saying that that's not true or accurate. It is true and it is accurate, right? And then when you find black men that may not be exceptional or extremely talented, but they've developed a level of confidence and perseverance to kind of just keep showing up despite of. Cause like that's in our nature, right? And you keep showing up regardless of what place in the box you show up, and you know it's a box. It's like, nah, man, if I hit that joint again tomorrow, I'm gonna break through the box. And so you keep showing up, you keep showing up, you keep showing up. And Dion, I was watching a interview he did on one of the podcasts that's out there, man. I wish he was on our shit. But
speak it into an existence.
Yeah, hey, we gotta manifest it. We gotta manifest it.
He on the way.
He on the way. But he was saying that as a kid, nobody supported him. Like nobody came to his basketball games, his football games. He was a black kid playing baseball in Florida. Nobody cared about baseball. And he said he made up in his mind that he cared enough about the stuff that he was doing to put his all in it, regardless of what anybody else said. So you put me in a box, but it's something in me. I'm just going to show up, and I'm going to break through the box, and then I'm going to create my own lane. So I think, yeah, it's society's kind of hierarchy to try to keep us in a box. But I guess the frustrating piece about me, or for me, is that we ain't Prime, we ain't Muhammad Ali, we ain't Lil Richard, we ain't Jay-Z, we ain't LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? But it's black men that's just trying to be stand-up cats out here that legit, we get put in boxes not only by society's hierarchy, but we get put in boxes by our own village of who we supposed to be, how we supposed to be, whether it's from our partner, if it's from our children, if it's from our parents, if it's from our siblings. It's like, oh, well, Kev's usually a chill guy. Well, why are you mad? Why are you upset? Smile. Regardless of the bullshit you've been through, it's not that bad. It's okay. It's okay. Like, yo, sometimes a nigga want to be a nigga, man. Like, I can't say it. No, I can't say it in an intelligent, eloquent way to like really get my point across, Brother Jay. But it's like, yo, I'm sick and tired of, if I want to be dope and exceptional, get out my way. If I want to be a nigga, get out my way. But if I want to yell, get out my way. If I don't want to say shit, get out my way. Let me handle my business.
The bigger question is why.
We boxes everywhere, huh?
Yeah, the bigger question is, why do people feel that they have the power and the ability to dictate how someone shows up or how someone is? Right? Like, I tell people all the time, control what's under your control. That's it. That's all you can do. I can't control how someone perceives my actions. I can express sympathy if their perception does not match my intention. I can say that. I can feel remorse or sadness because, hey, something that I said maybe didn't land the way I intended it to, and I can see how it can get misconstrued. So I can express sympathy for that. I can't control it though.
Yeah.
I can't control.
And you can't manipulate it.
I can't. I'm going to spend so much effort in making an attempt to manipulate and control it that I'm no longer going to be able to be fully present and fully engaged in the experience in which I'm participating. So instead of me being able to enjoy the time I'm spending with my partner, I'm trying to control the environment. And sometimes you just got to let things go and let the chips fall as they may. Like, however it happens, and then you keep it moving. You keep rolling, right? Something in the atmosphere or the environment goes south. All right, do I stand there looking at how it went south? Do I acknowledge that it went south, and then it's like, what do I need to do next time so it doesn't go south? But the longer I stand there where it fell, the more delayed I am going to be for the places I'm called to be in, to do the things I've been called to do. You spilled milk. Okay. Old folks used to say, ain't no point in crying over spilled milk. You want to know why? It's done. The action is over with. And people create anxiety within themselves because they're trying to control lottie-dottie and everybody. And that takes a toll on them. And then they feel as if they're responsible. Oh, well, we shouldn't have let him leave. How was you going to stop him?
Mm-hmm.
How? Like, niggas just be talking, bro. Like, this is why I'm quiet in most places that I go in, because it's like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. And then your response to reaction might provoke somebody to question like your being.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yo, that like I'm feeling that way now, man. Because it's kind of like you walk into a space, whether it's at work or a family function, or you just hanging out, man. It's somebody will say or do something that's just like, to me, it's just off. But because Instagram or TikTok said it was cool, like that has been the adaptation of like the functions, right? So a lot of times I might be the odd guy out because it's like I ain't really on TikTok like that, and I don't really see the big deal about a lot of stuff. So I might say, oh, that TikTok video that went viral, it's kind of whack. Well, why is it whack? Blah 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 blah. It's like, yo, I think it's whack, but that's just because I want to be from my space. You don't have to think it's whack. You can love it. If you like it, I love it.
So I don't say that anymore.
Well, no, in terms of like one's ability to be.
Yeah.
Like if you like something, I want you to be.
Yeah.
So I love it. Handle your business.
I love it for you.
But at the same time, allow me to disagree with you. Allow me to have my own perspective.
People don't want people to be individuals, Kev.
Yeah, man.
Like it has to be some type of conformity. I
like
want to go here.
If all of us as black men, bro, if we was all like a certain height, complexion, facial haircut, and everything, I guarantee we would have fewer problems than what we have, because everybody know like, oh, it's a
black
Model
man.
A. Yeah, it's the Model A black man. Everybody, and like every family got their standard Model A issue black man and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's the 78 edition.
It's the 78 edition. Like every job got they got their little EEOC Model A black man requirements and shit.
Yeah,
and I'm just thinking, like, if people could really have us in boxes like that, I don't think we would have all these problems that we're having, because it's like, oh, they're not threatening because we know they're all robots basically.
Yeah, but it's going back to the conformity thing. I don't want you to be an individual. I want you to say what I'm thinking. I want you to validate what I'm thinking. I want you to say what I'm thinking is right. That's the way that it should go. That's the best solution. That's the best idea, and we need to go with it. I think it was a group of us. We were trying to go on a trip. 2 people wanted to go somewhere where the bulk of us have already either gone or it was like, I'm not interested in going. And so then it was like, well, what about this spot? And so because we said no to the first spot, they said no to our spot. I said, well, okay, check this out. If we can't come to a consensus, we just can't go on a group trip. So what did I do? I picked a date, found a hotel, hit up my homegirl for a flight connect, got a ticket. I was like, hey, I'm going here on this date to return on this date. Anybody that wants to go with me, let me know. So that created an argument within the group. Well, we were supposed to be going on a group trip. And
we couldn't come to a consensus. You made a decision.
I said,
let
well,
you be, brother Jay. Let you be, man.
I said, if nobody goes, I'm going by myself.
Cause I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be.
Well, maybe that's not a good day for me to travel. Stay home. Once I got to the space of, well, you know, I pledged solo. So me being an individual and it doesn't really, if I'm in a group setting and we supposed to move as a group, as soon as everybody starts arguing and bickering, Jones just disappears. Mm-hmm. I don't have time for all that. You want to know why? Because I don't have to. I don't have to spend my time in angst waiting and then end up not doing anything because can't nobody get along and disagree. Well, why don't you be the voice of reason? I don't have to be. I can just remove myself from that space and go to another space where we ain't got all these problems.
So the expectation is for you to be the voice of reason.
Yeah, there's always an expectation.
Why you gotta have a voice of reason? Brother Jay, sometimes I just want to see you be a nigga too, man. Cause it be fun to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit be fun to me. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like a lot of my good friends, man, good people that I'm real cool with, man. That they just like always got a cool demeanor. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie, man. I get a rush when I see the motherfuckers pop off sometimes, cause I know, like, yo, you legit gone too far for this nigga to pop off. But goddamn, man, it feel good to know he still got it. You know?
I'm one of those individuals where, like, yo, once you get me there, then we finna stay here all night. You finna pay rent. We ordering another round. Like, you got me here now. Okay, all right,
bro. I just need because me, it's like, all right, man. It's kind of validation for me that you functioning as like a model A black man. You know what I'm saying? Like a standard issue model A black man. It's like, yo.
Oh, there he goes.
He might be chill 96% of the time.
Yeah.
But this is gonna happen. But it's gonna happen with all of them, not just the one.
Yeah.
Like we all spazzing out at the same time.
At the same time, this is what you asked for, right? Usher said, you got my attention, now what you gonna do with it, right? You done called me to this space. Now, no, you don't get to leave, right? And so there's always this expectation for you to fill some type of role. That's why sometimes I show up late. Because I'm aware. I show up late on purpose. So I don't have a role to fill.
Yep.
If I'm there too early and somebody's not there, hey, do you think you can? No. No. So I intentionally show. I will even let the host know, whatever it is. Hey, running behind. I'll be there shortly. And sometimes I just like to sit in the back
and chill
and just observe. I went to an event, and then someone was like, "Oh, you're not on the program? You're not speaking? You're not singing?" No. Why not? Because I'm not. That was my response. Because I'm not. That's all I got. I'm not. I'm here just like you. I'm sitting here, and I'm chilling. That's it. I don't know what else people want from me. Like sometimes I just want to show up. And a lot of times that's why I decline a lot of invitations, because I can't. I'm not allowed to just
show up and chill.
To just show up and chill.
Yo, bro, imagine if, like, you know, we kind of talking about all these different famous individuals in the state of being, right? And before we hit record, we were talking about like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson kind of asked, well, he didn't really ask for like the fuckery that went on in his life, but he kind of like he was a star. He was a successful star, and he dedicated himself to it and was committed to it, and happened to have like one of the greatest selling albums of all time. But that was like he kind of chose that because you came out with Thriller and you decided to go back for Bad. So you kind of chose that, right? Michael Jordan, you dedicated yourself to basketball. You're the standard of excellence in all things basketball. I'm telling you, man, the damn Jumpman emblem, people gonna think we were idolized, like we were worshiping an idol.
Like it was Buddha.
Yeah, like it was Buddha or something. Like 3,000 years from now, they're gonna see a Michael Jordan Jumpman sign, and they was like niggas was idolizing this god. Michael Jordan can't go nowhere, but you kind of in becoming the greatest basketball player of all time, you became Michael Jordan. You kind of chose that part.
But that's the tough part too, Kev, because it's like, yes, and I did choose this part.
Yeah.
And I'm also still a person.
Yeah.
I have human emotions just like you.
We can't be because people don't perceive black men as being human. Damn.
Right? Like you
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Like you can't. I remember someone was like talking to a local athlete. You got to start making better decisions because you a role model. He said, I didn't sign up for that. I didn't set out to be a role model. I'm a basketball player. Well, you got little kids looking up to you. He was like, I can't control what they do. I'm playing basketball. All these other responsibilities that everybody is giving me or placing upon me, like, that's for them to fish out and figure that shit out. He was like, I'm playing ball. That's it. When I graduate high school, I'm going to college. I don't intend on playing ball. Oh, well, you can't give up now. You got to do this. You got to do this. No, last time I checked, I'm not taking into consideration, nor did I ask for your input on what I should do with my future. But for the next 2 years, I'm going to ride this thing out in high school, do my thing, and then I'm going to put the ball down, and I'm going to go to college. And I'm going to med school.
But you want to do something else.
But you gotta come back. You gotta make sure you speak to the kids. You know, they looking up to you. You a role model, and like, you take care. You become the role model.
That's some tough ass pressure, dog.
Especially for a kid.
Think about it from this standpoint. Like we talked about Little Richard and all of the different kind of beings that he encompassed, right? Let's just say being black and gay and a man during that time was like acceptable, right? Wearing the makeup, wearing the mustache, the thin mustache, the bouffant hair, the wild outlandish outfits, playing the devil's music, right? Imagine if there was peer pressure during that time to say, nah, Richard, don't wear, keep wearing the makeup. We like it, but Richard was saying, I don't really like this look anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to wear baggy jeans, Timbs, and want to start DJing or some shit like that, right? And somebody was like, nah, you pretty, like you said. We want you to keep doing that, blah blah. We want you to keep your same look, your same act. It's working. But he like, nah, I kind of want to do something else. And people like talk him out of actually like keeping up the act. And he actually went away from it and made his own decision to be himself. You wouldn't have, fast forward 40 years, you wouldn't have a Prince. You wouldn't have a Michael Jackson. You wouldn't have James Brown. You wouldn't have Tyler, the Creator. You wouldn't have what's my man, the Weeknd. You wouldn't have like all of these artists over the span of like 60 years if he said, nah, man, I don't really want to wear the makeup. I don't really want to have a little thin mustache. You know what I'm saying? I want to just kind of do my thing. and somebody would have talked him out of, somebody would have talked him into doing something and keeping up the facade that everybody ended up adopting, right? If it was accepted. That's like, he came from a place where he was being himself and it was accepted, but in his own mind, he was not accepting of who he was. And if he changed that and said, nah, man, I want to be a straight male and wear a suit every day and an afro instead of a perm, like, yo, we would have lost out on the magic if he didn't get over his own level of consciousness and try to be who he was supposed to be. And that shit right there, Brother Jay, is sad to me, because I think that's the nature of being a black man. It's like we have to compromise or sacrifice or compartmentalize or give up on dreams, aspirations, hope, so that we can be placed in a box, and then we feel comfortable that we actually fit in a box that we weren't supposed to be in the first place. Like, yo, that's taking away like that connection between us and the source, the constant state of regulating not being who you really want to be, and doing so to the best of your God-given ability.
You that touches,
I ain't mean to get deep on you, but
but that's
damn, Brother Jay.
but that's real, right? That touches on something that I was talking to a friend the other day, and his wife joins the conversation. We don't change what we're talking about. We're still in heavy dialogue. So she starts to insert herself into the conversation. We don't ignore her. We acknowledge what she says. But it's evident that something was said that triggered her. So early on in the relationship, they talked about having children. And at first, his stance was, I don't want to be a parent. I just don't. I don't have the desire to do that. And at first, when they first got together, her response was, yeah, let's just travel the world and, do things, worry-free, just we just have to be our only responsibilities and, work when we need to, travel, do whatever we need to do. A couple years later, she changes her mind. But there's the expectation that because I changed my mind, now you need to change yours. Because we're in a relationship together, and I changed my mind about wanting to be a parent, so now you have to change yours, because we're one. And it's still no. I don't want it. So then they get married. 2 or 3 years into the marriage, the conversation comes up again, and he was like, I'm not sure what's confusing about my stance, but I'm like, I don't want to be a parent. Godparent, sure. Somebody asked me to be a godparent to their child, yes. But to have a human that I have to be responsible for 24/7 until I die, no. I don't have the desire. And so he talked about all the things. And once again, that wasn't the first time he said it. But she goes, well, I changed my mind. So then he says, well, I think now the conversation needs to shift on, like, are we going to stay married or get a divorce? And she blows up, like, why would you even say this? He was like, well, I'm telling you, I don't have a desire to be a father. Like, I don't want that responsibility. I don't have the desire to do it. You're telling me you have the desire to be a mother. If I can't share the space with you while your desire is met, then I would want you to find someone who has the same desire as you, and you two can be together. But for her, she's like, well, why would you leave me and blah blah blah. He was like, you're not looking at the bigger picture here. I'm not going to change my mind. Like I am committed to my stance. Like, there's nothing you can do to sway my decision. I don't want it. You, on the other hand, you want it. You're telling me that you've always wanted it, even though earlier on in the relationship, you didn't. So for me to conform just because now I am married to you, what would that look like if I just go along to get along and the child's here and I don't want anything to do with it? Like, who's going to suffer the most?
I bet you that question was never broached.
Like, the child's going to suffer because you're going to get stressed out because I told you I didn't want this. Then I'm going to have internal struggle because I gave in to something that I didn't want. And now I see like the consequences beyond myself. So now there's going to be guilt. Now there's going to be shame, disappointment, resentment, all these things. And I'm still not going to do what you're expecting me to do because I didn't want to do it in the first place. So they've had multiple conversations. His stance hasn't changed. She still thinks that she can change his mind. But now you got
bro, that is so ass backwards.
But
so
yeah,
detrimental to like the success of the relationship. That's kind of like no pun intended, like throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
That's a great
like,
analogy.
it's like,
that's a great analogy. That was a great analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, yo, you want a baby so bad that you pretty much negating and not valuing anything that the brother is saying, and he been keeping it solid the whole time, so he's being his true self. But that ain't what you want.
And instead of saying, you know what, well, maybe we do need to separate. Maybe we need to go our separate ways.
I gotta change my whole philosophy, outlook, thoughts, hopes, dreams around a child because you said I need to.
Yeah. And it's like, so you go your way, I go my way. You find someone that has the same desires and dreams and goals and aspirations as you, and make it work. Godspeed and God bless. But it was like, no, I want to do it with you. He's like, but I'm telling you, I have no interest in doing this. Like, it's, so I don't see him being I don't see him being married much longer. But it's that point of allowing someone to be because it's convenient in hopes of manipulating them to be what you want them to be.
That's heavy.
I'm allowing them to be here, and then I'm gonna give them the space, and then we'll come back to this. So we will revisit this. I remember I was in a relationship. I gave my decision on something, and instead of her saying, "Okay, we'll revisit this later on," as if I didn't just give you the answer. So for a couple of days, I just sat with it. I'm just like, now,
yo, why we don't get the like, I said what I said. You know how chicks, they get mad sometimes, man. I said what I said, and the net rolling and all that stuff. Like, yo, man, if we say I said what I said, it's it. Yo, we sound like James Evans from Good Times, man.
Or Joe Jackson. So I sat with that thing for a couple of days. So then the next time she comes to the house, I'm like, so let's have a conversation. She's like, oh Lord, anytime you say this, it's about to be heavy. No, it's yeah. Like the song say, I'm about to dig freak nasty without a shovel. Like this, like. So when we had this conversation and I gave you my decision, the way you just shrugged it off as if you didn't respect my decision and said we were going to revisit it later. And I'm telling you that this is my final answer. Like, I'm not going to change my mind around this. Well, I don't know why you're not being open-minded about it. I said, okay. So let's just do this. Let's agree to disagree. And let's appreciate what we had. Are you breaking up with me? I'm ending the relationship, yes. That's what I said, yes. Really, over something like that, I was like, no, this is a pretty big decision. This is pretty big. This is pretty big because this is like one of the cornerstones for the relationship. Like,
It's the open-minded for me though, bro. It's the open-minded because, like, imagine if Dion was open-minded about all the shit that people think he should be or want
and
to
it
do.
wasn't even that I wasn't being open-minded. It was that you didn't respect my decision.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure had I said, well, why don't you be open-minded when she had a firm decision, it
But
would have.
open-minded just means like I consider your point of view. I understand your perspective. We don't agree.
Not even understand. I'm accepting that this is your point of view.
Yeah. It's like it's your thing.
I hear you. Thank you for sharing it. I'm not negating anything that you said. And it still doesn't merge with what I'm thinking. Like it is.
And my actions on this decision won't affect you in any negative manner. Therefore, I'm being open-minded.
Yeah. You just didn't like my answer, and you thought that because you got your way in your house that you're going to get your way in mine. Like, no, I'm not going to yield to this.
That sounded like James Evans talking to Florida right there, bro. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't disagree, but I'm playing it back in my head, and I'm just like, yeah, I get why I sound like angry black man. But why do we got to be angry black man if we don't agree though? Right?
That's the thing. When we're not meek and mild, we're going against the grain.
That part.
Right? A threat. We're a danger. Because I'm not conforming. Now I'm an issue.
Hip hop, Muhammad Ali, Little Richard, James Brown,
James Evans,
Malcolm X, James Evans. But seriously, like, to put your flag in the sand. I said what I said. I'm not an angry black man. If anything, I'm a thoughtful black man because I considered what you said. I gave you my response. I respect your position. I want you to respect mine. Damn, bro. Like, I don't know, man. We shouldn't be having this deep of a conversation around Deion Sanders and Little Richard.
But
and how it impacts our ability to maneuver in this world, man.
and it's things like this that reveal like there's things underneath the surface for anything that we talk about above the surface.
So true, man. So I mean, like, did you ever have any regrets breaking up with Shorty? Did you have any regrets? Okay, that's fair.
I did not.
That's
right,
good.
and I think that was the turning point in my adulthood, where I realized that sometimes you're going to have to stand on it. If this is what it is that you want, vocalize it, verbalize it, however you see fit, and then stand on it. Because what I fast forwarded it to in my head was if I changed my mind, I then would have resentment towards her, and it would be my fault.
I see what you did. Yeah.
Right? And so instead of me saying, you know what, this is my fault, now I'm resenting her. Now I'm resenting the relationship, and how I show up in all areas of my life will be heavily influenced because I yielded instead of saying no.
And you're keeping yourself from being.
And so I was
in your own head.
Yeah, I said no, thank you. Right, my peace was so much more worth it than the relationship.
Man, so being a black man in America means you can't yield at all ever.
I wouldn't say ever, because there may come a time where you have to ask yourself, is this ego talking? Right? Or is this heart talking?
is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, like
is this about me, or is it about us?
yeah, it's
Like
just
the us as being black men, you know?
yeah,
Is this about
it's
me?
bigger than me, right? So
Yeah,
like,
because it's bigger than me. Yeah.
am I not yielding because my ego is ruined, my feelings are hurt, and now I want to be petty and do a tit for tat, so I'm not going to yield? No. But like, is this at my core something that I've expressed? This is an unwavering value that I have. Then I'm not yielding. Then no. But typically, when you give in, you get whatever's inside. So like, yo, what you can't get mad that it starts to rain when you willfully walked into the storm.
So it ain't just the man or the village or relationships that get in the way of us being as black men. Sometimes it's our pride and ego too, bro.
Sometimes the biggest enemy is our inner me.
And I just want to be, bro. Trying to figure it out, man. But I mean, we started out talking about them bum Cowboys, and we got deeper than what I thought we was gonna do. So, yeah, thanks for that, brother Jay. Thanks for just not letting me be. You making me think, bro. I wanted to talk some shit about the Cowboys, man. Rub that in your face, man, and you took that away because you got on your Marcus Garvey shit. We will not watch the NFL.
And won't.
Yo, man. So then we end up with it. But seriously though, brother Jay, I just want to be, man, and I feel like you and I have these conversations. It's easier said than done because I just think like I guess we have to be mindful of how we want to be, and to your point, like stand on it and protect it, I guess. And protecting it is what my challenge is right now, because like I'm at the point now, it's like, hey man, I'm dropping bombs to protect what I got. But I don't want to drop the bomb too close to me and fuck over what I got. I'm trying to be, brother Jay.
Maybe not drop bombs, just do a grenade that you can toss. You can toss. Like that. Yeah, or you can drop it and walk away, so you're not within.
That's fair, man. But on that note, bro, damn. The Village, you just witnessed another edition of the Game Recognized Game Podcast with RLJ and Kev. I'm KEV, that's RLJ, and we are the gentlemen advancing the melanin evolution. For evolution is revolution. Until next time, we want you to be and be like.
Be like.